wind back a bit to Notts County. How's Dan Barden doing after the collision and so forth?
He's improving every day. It's absolutely horrendous facial injury, to be fair. It's a good job he's such a good-looking kid, because, good gracious me, it's horrendous what's happened to his face, and his eyes still can't see out of. So hopefully it'll improve bit by bit. But he is going to be all right. That's the good news. But it's how quickly that is, and how I feel how well he is to do it, you know, and is it restricted? So, but anyway, we'll see. We'll know. Got a couple more days yet. So.
Has he sort of passed a kind of concussion protocol, or is he still?
There was no concussion. They were going, do you want an extra sub? Do you want an extra sub? You can use the protocol. We didn't even know if, I said, hang on a minute, let's just find out if he's got concussion or not. I don't want an extra sub. Why do I need an extra sub when I've got 2 left? It's completely mental, you know? At the minute, on the side, with the 4th official, it is mental at the moment, at our level. I'm going to have to watch myself, I'm going to have to calm down. But they were asking us, do you want an extra sub? And I went, I don't know. Do we need one? Because is he concussed? And we couldn't get that answer. When he walked over, it was just a really bad cut. So there was no concussion. So.
And how are Grant Hall and your other injuries getting on?
I'll find out in a minute. It sounds weird, but I've been in big meetings all week, talking and dealing with stuff, planning where we're training today. And it's been very productive. I'm really pleased with where we are, all of us, as a club. And I mean with the owner and all the staff that I will need to actually help us through this window. But really it's not about just this window. I'm talking about how many we got. It's a great time for me to look at the club overall and say, right, how many's out of contract in the summer? This is how we do it. I spoke to the chairman, this is how we do it. All of these are out of contract, so have we got anybody who are better than these if we need to? So this is your process I'm expecting all of you lot to do, and I feel we need this, that, maybe this. So this is where we are. So the clarity that I managed to give the chairman and everybody else was probably the best meeting I've had in 20 years. It really was. Couple of days ago, so everybody's gone off doing what they need to do together, all of us together, and it felt wonderful. So I got Biggie and Gav ticking through the players and what have you. They're leaving everything to me. All my staff have given me targets that they might have, or someone might have told them, because it's all hearsay these days, who might be available, who might not be. And it's I'm in a very, very good place with it all, to be honest. I'm really pleased with what I believe the lads are doing for me, what I might be able to add, and we're down the road on some of them, maybe not on others. So it's big jigsaw, and it all takes care of itself by the end of January. So not now, by the end.
But by then, at the moment, you sound from that fairly confident you can get in the kind of players you think you need.
I'm fairly confident in the ones that I've got here. I have been since I've been here. I'm fairly confident that if I can add 1 or 2 slightly different skill sets to the group that I've got, and that'll be a mix. Because you'll never get at this level, you'll never get one person with all the skills that you need. I'll have an Isak, please. We'll have him, shall we? I think Arsenal need him as well. You know what I mean? Look at Newcastle and Arsenal the other day. What was the biggest difference? Oh my God, it was stood out a mile, didn't it? The misses Arsenal had and the goal that it's amazing. That's why people, you know. So I won't be able to get someone with all those attributes. I might get someone with one of them and then get someone else with the other, and then we can add that and make that into the team. But I'm delighted with the team. I was very disappointed because I don't want anyone to be better than us, but unfortunately, being brutally honest, where Notts County are and what they've been doing and how they've been building and what their players know that my players don't about their system was obvious on Saturday. But we still had some chances. Drins could have took that touch. What a fantastic effort that was. That could have been 1-1. If we'd have got that, we might have been able to make up for the gulf between us at the moment. And I don't want it to be that big a gulf. That's how I feel. So the top of the league and the bottom of the league, at times there is a huge difference, and Notts County have been building and the way that I want to try and build, if I can. And I believe we can. So after the meeting, so it's all wonderful news. I don't know what's going to happen yet, and whoever you might want, if you put it in, send it in to Callum and I'll have a look at them and we'll put them through no, seriously, give us some ideas, because you've all got some wonderful ideas, and at the end of the day, mine is the one that counts, but I will look at anything and everybody, and I believe that we're all pointing the same way then. Imagine a few meerkats. Right, you can help me, because you can have a little look and you might have a name that we might be able to get that might suit us. But at the end of the day, I am trying my best to help this group become a bigger, stronger, better group, or smaller, stronger, better group, whichever way it pans out. So I'm absolutely delighted. I feel we're all pulling the same way, and I truly feel that we are all pulling the same way. We are all standing the same way, and we're all ready to. That's how I feel, which is a wonderful feeling. Something that I have missed about football clubs, and in a lot of football clubs I've been at, they haven't had it anything like this is, and this could be, so I'm really pleased with it.
I'm going to fish a bit here. From what
you fishing?
Yeah, from what you've said.
You can put your rod down.
I'll try.
No, there's keep net, there's nobody. I got one in the keep net at the minute.
It wasn't going to be bad.
And I'll let you know later about that. I got one in the keep net, but you know, at the end of the day, there's people biting everywhere, which is great. I was worried about us not being able to attract people here, but this club is bigger and better than I even thought, because people want to come, which is a nice feeling.
Which I was going to go on a slightly different.
Go on then.
But,
I'll let you answer the question. Ask the question. I might not answer it.
You've kind of said that about kind of being good sort of atmosphere, good unity, perhaps thinking about who's out of contract at the end of the season. That all makes it sound like you're potentially thinking about a longer term stay here than your contract.
What, me? I've thought about that ever since I first came here. I wouldn't have come here if I didn't think that I'm going to earn that right to be that bloke to do that job. And all I'm saying is, every day I'm here, I feel more connected, more pleased with the overall, what we're trying to do here. And I believe I'm bringing everybody else back in and saying, come on, let's all tell me what you think. Even the owner, come on, tell me what you think. When he comes over, we're going to go off and visit someone who's been very successful. And we're going to look at how they built their club to see how we can build ours. Because you can't just, if you don't know, you've run successful businesses before, the way you run them might not be the way you run this. So, wow, hold on a minute, let's go and ask some people who have run successful football clubs to say, right, how did you start? You started smaller than this, what do we need? This is what we're doing, can you help us? And I got the contacts that we can do that. I'll take him with me. Because if I'm trying to build something without a picture of what it is, you know, and the changes we've made and the changes that we've had here have left me with a group of players that have been put together by 6 different people, 4 different managers, 2 different directors of football. So how difficult is that for all of us to know where we're going and what we're doing? Where the blueprint is, I want to win games. Well, so does everybody, but how? So we've had some unbelievably brilliant conversations that have led us to, wow, hold on then, let's go. But again, it's about what the team do for me so that I can earn the right to have the right to choose what the team does and how it does it and how the club goes. And I'm fully aware, hang on a minute, it ain't about me at the moment. I haven't done nothing. Let's see what we can do. But the beautiful thing for me is I have years of experience, which is data. My experience is data. I spoke to Gary Bowyer yesterday. Unbelievable. Our experience is data. And what's everybody doing these days? Data. So It's fantastic. I am loving every minute of it, as you can tell. And because I have experience, what I'm actually doing is getting other people to do what they should be doing in a better way than we've been doing it before, and then collating it, getting it all together. Then we can see, where are we, what is happening, let's do that then, let's bring that in, let's have a look at that then, let's give that fella a chance, let's see how he fits into our group. And then all of a sudden the group gets stronger. If they don't, then I won't bring that one, I'll bring another one. And hang on a minute, I like what I'm building here. It's all about people. And people can change. I don't need to change people. People can change in the right environment. So, and that's what I'm saying. Have we looked at Rosaire? Where can Rosaire actually play? Where does Rosaire actually play? Is he a left wing back? Where have we been putting him? Or can he also do another role? Oh my God, he's got exactly what I need in that role. Let's give him a chance there. I'm excited by that. Do you get what I mean? So hold on, I didn't even know that. The people who brought him in did know that. The communication ain't been right, so hang on a minute. Whoa, hello then. So, wow. And not being funny, when the previous manager, was he here for every single signing? Did he have his fingerprints on every single signing? If not, why not, if he's going to be the manager? It's exactly the same. West Ham. Did Lopetegui sign those players? They're all supposed to be good. Have a look at the back line. Are they good? They've let five in. Hang on a minute. Is it his fault? He's been asked to coach them. This is where football is. But really, deep down, you have to sort your club out and say, right, this is where we're going. This is how we do our recruitment. And you need bits of both. You definitely need eyes on it. And you also definitely need the man who's going to coach them to have some sort of say in it, rather than bring them all in and sign them all, because he might not get on with them. Life is about, we should know from COVID, life is about people, getting on with people, being successful together, because we can't do anything on our own. And I'm trying to build a community here of people that want the same thing, that want to do the same thing. So what I'm trying to do with the players is no different to what I'm asking the staff to do for me, like we did at Christmas. With all our supporters, with the church-going supporters, with the senior supporters, with the young supporters, ask them how we were, ask them how the group was, ask them what are we doing, this is what life is all about. We are a community club, and I believe we're getting stronger and better every day. And that's all I can do. So it ain't about me, it's not about how long I'm staying, it's about me earning the right to stay. And what I'm trying to do is do that over and over, over and over, over and over. And in the meantime, I will give the man who's employed me, Clem, every bit of information that I can about what I see, as honestly and fairly as I can. And then I believe he will want to do what I'm asking him and telling him. If he don't, I won't fall out with him. If he's wrong, I will make sure he does it, because I'm right and he's wrong. And I'll make him see that. But I will be in control of what I can do, and it has to be with the budget, and it might have to be out to bring in, and it has to be that at this moment in time. But it's a fact that I am trying to get ahead of the game. And good clubs get ahead of the game. We're not ahead of the game. We will be by the time this window's finished. And then from now until the next window, we will be planning what we do, and the lads will have a chance to play for their lives. I'm playing for my life. They have the chance to play for their life, their Swindon life. And I think that's what we all have to show every minute of every day. And anybody I bring, if I don't know that they're going to do that, I won't bring them. And with the one that I've already got, I won't mention his name, I know he will do that for me, with me. And he's experienced, which will really, truly help. So, there we go. That's life. Ask me another one.
One more quickly. I guess we should actually mention the game. So.
Yeah, they're second, aren't they?
Yeah.
Tough challenge,
Yeah.
but one I'm looking forward to.
And So do you feel you've got a little bit of sense of kind of good sort of energy at home, good vibes at home you can try and take from the recent performances?
It's a nice feeling, and I hope that all the crowd feel the same way, but we have to drive that feeling. They've got that feeling of wow from the lads, because the way we've gone about things. So I'm really looking forward to hitting them with this. You know, I haven't seen them for 3 days because I've been doing other things, and all players know this, right? So I've planned it all be in well capable hands. Biggie's absolutely different class, Gav's different class, so they understand where I am and they know what I'm trying to do. But I can't wait to see them today. It's like I'm a kid in a candy shop, so, you know, and I can't wait to see it all bubbling. And we've already planned it. That's how good this club is. We've already planned it. We're on the AstroTurf here. That's why we're at the ground today, because we knew we can't make the ground playable. So this Astro, I don't like it normally, but this is one of the best we can have. So we can do what we need to do about the preparation for the game. So I'll know a lot more about my group, because I've been ringing about people outside the group who I might be able to add to the group, and I can't wait to see my group today, if that makes sense. But this is what people don't understand, the complexity of having a window and limited time to do that window. Doesn't work in football, doesn't. Honestly, it doesn't work. Our model, how it used to be, definitely works. We can borrow people to the last Thursday in March, absolutely useless. And it stops people being able to trade. I have people, if they don't go, and I'm not going to play them, they won't be played and they won't be able to do their job. How bad is that? In a certain time, if you're a carpenter and you can't get any work from where you're not wanted here, you're not allowed to go and work for someone else, that's absolutely terrible. That should never be allowed in football. So FIFA and UEFA are totally wrong. And if I get fined, I'm sorry, I'm telling you the truth. You're wrong. You should have copied England's, the EFL's way of doing transfers. But we've got to conform to you, and you're wrong.
How's Harry Smith getting on with his face mask? Have you heard much about his progress?
He's trained really well, absolutely no problem. And your injury, your break, after 10 days, it's starting getting tacky, a bit like plasticine, so it'll start to then refix. So Izzy's not displaced. It was, so he should be fine, right? But that was far too early to risk him, and it also showed me what I might need to add if he's not fit. So it was a dual purpose, and I thought we could have still beat him without him, but at the minute we're relying too heavily on him. So hence I'll do what I've just managed to do, which I can tell you about later on. But it's all getting better. You know, whatever we had before, you know, everybody has it, don't they? Do you know what I mean? If you look at Tottenham, they had all sorts of things in it. You'll be amazed at what can happen when you have to put other people in, if your feeling is right in the place. So I'm delighted with what I said to the boys after the game. I wasn't too disappointed. I knew we were light years away from where I want us to be, but we almost bridged that gap, even in that game, with some of the skill that we have. We almost bridged that gap. Coxey has actually broke his foot. Can you believe that? Did it in the first 5 minutes. He actually broke his foot in the first 5 minutes, played another 40, and he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. Absolutely amazing. I've never seen anything like it. But that's what happens. I'm going to definitely throw some sage around, you know what I'm saying? There's some weird stuff going on in there, but it happens to everybody, it's not just me. It's weird. I've seen some wonderful things over the last couple of days. It does make me chuckle, you know. Poor old Arteta. Apparently he blamed the ball. He didn't blame the ball at all. He said it was a different ball. I mean, what are we doing to people? Come on. He didn't actually say, my player missed because of that ball. He said the balls are different in my, you know what I mean? They fly a little bit, and they do. The header was his centre forward missing it, wasn't it? But what he meant was, We created so many chances in that game. That score should have not been that score. That's all he meant. You know, and everybody grabs hold of it and does all sorts, don't they? You know, Alan Brazil's laughing at him and all that. Oh, come on, Al, sort your life out.
You mentioned with the potential of players maybe not getting out. Do you have much interest in the players that you aren't using a Tariq to whack rate, perhaps, or anyone else who maybe isn't quite as in favour?
That'll be down to his people who help him to help find him what he might need. And this is what I'm saying, there's all sorts of phone calls going on, and you have representatives who're supposed to help your career. And if you're running out of contract and you ain't got a contract next year, you should be really thinking about, I got to go and play. I got to go and play. And then if you go and play and show people what you can do, then things might get better for you. Like Sean McGurk's done, right? He's opening up a whole can of worms for himself by agreeing that, hang on a minute, I don't care if it's show, but I'll go and show you, which is a wonderful thing to do. So Tariq might have to do that. It's not my job to find him anything like that. And if you're expecting my phone to be ringing off the wall about people wanting my players, I think you're wrong. It's not happening. It might do one day, but it isn't happening at the moment. So.
Just last week, before you mentioned, I think last week, about potentially wanting to bring players in on a sort of trial basis to see what they're like within the group. Have you been able to do that yet? Is that still something you're planning on maybe looking at?
2 in there today. 2 more coming next week. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're not going to say anyone.
I'm not going to tell you anyway. Why would I?
These
Well, I've already read that one of them is signing for another club in our league. So they're, whoever they are, they're absolutely gunly, spinelessly wrong. You're wrong. I don't have to prove it, but you're wrong. You have no idea what you're talking about.
these are free agents.
No. No.
So the players who
It's my contacts who I've spoke to people and they, you can have a look if you want, rather
so
than just
contacts
take it.
are available to go.
They're available for me to do if I want to push the button. This is what I'm confident of. I haven't made enemies, I've made friends with all sorts of people, all sorts of levels. So what I'm using is all of those contacts, and anybody, if they've got an idea, if they really, because there's some people out there who really know what they're talking about. I'm not saying everybody does, but we will listen to anything if it helps Swindon Town. You know? Look at Nigel Martin signing for Bristol Rovers. Vi Harris sends him up for a trial, and he walks in with some bent up boots, and we sign him and he goes for £1 million. So never say never. Right? Never, ever say never to anything. Always have a look, always have a listen, but you need to back it up with your eyes and with the information that is out there available these days. And you got to learn and you got to know what you're doing with that information, how to read it. Brentford do, Brighton do, oh my goodness, Notts County do, because they're all on that same thing. So, biggest thing, most important thing in the long-term stability and future of a football club is its recruitment.
You mentioned going to see a successful club with, and when it comes over, and you mentioned Brentford and Brighton. Is it one of those two that you want to see?
I don't think that's fair. It easily could be, but it's what I need to do. Me and Clem need to do is our relationship needs to be one of total trust. And for me to do what I need to do for him, I need to know what he sees. And as he knows, I can't just win, mate. That ain't good enough. Right? So you got to give me some slightly better guidance than just, he didn't say just win, there was another word in there. But that's probably from where he's from, do you know what I mean? And I love that. I love how he is. I absolutely love how he is, and I think don't change. It's not a problem. I've been used to someone very, very similar to him, and I love it. So, and what I'm trying to do is keep him having the love that he has for this place, and how the unbelievable desire to try and get it to win. And he's totally and utterly frustrated. And I do know him quite well, and I think he's angry, and I got to try and. I've been angry a lot in my life, and I need to get determined rather than angry. And I know he is, but I'm trying to, let's do something about that. And when you do it, it's a great emotion to have, but what you need to do is have that with then, there's a plan, this is the plan, here we go. And your plan can't change because you've had a bad performance or a bad miss. If your team's created that chance, how did it create it? What patterns are you doing? Was it one of your patterns? And you just keep going back, and then that person will practice and score and get better. A bit like Thierry Henry when they first bought him at Arsenal. He couldn't score a goal. He was a right winger. By the end of his career, oh my goodness, look at him. And this is what you have to try and do. So we need to recognise what we're doing, where we're going, how we're going to do it, what style are we going to do it in. What league are we in to start with? So the difference is where those clubs are now to where they started is massive. You know, they both moved grounds. They've both done so well. They're gamblers. Clem's not a gambler, but what I'm saying, we will look at all sorts of other models of football clubs to try and build one and be successful with one. Because whatever we're doing at the minute ain't working. And if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're not going to get it, are you? So we got to change what we do, and if I can be part of that change, right, which I am, I'm absolutely delighted. And it's for me to actually then say, come on then, and things need to work in football in these days. They need to work, otherwise you don't get the chance. So again, the data that I've got, I've accumulated over 40 years in the game, 20 as a player, 24 as a manager, that's 44 years. So hopefully that will count for something in the end. But I've got to prove that.
With George's injury, it's unfortunate. Does it change at all what you want in January now? Because
Totally.
Yeah, that's the sort of length of time where you may need to look for someone.
It's more than that as well, because it's what it does to Billy. If I had a choice of two down that side, George or Billy, with the amount of games that have got the intensity of these games, it's definitely going to change the dynamic, because Billy can cover for Delaney as well, and Billy's only young, and Billy might get injured, and Billy might not have that. Sometimes young ones do really well, and then they have a little bit of a dip, and then you got to try and protect them. But he's been sensational so far. But that changes the whole dynamic, But I've always done it with less players, but maybe the odd utility one here and there, and overall, I never ever was anywhere where I could have two for each position, and then some spare after that. I wouldn't have known that. Do you know what I mean? But I know massive clubs can do that, but I've always been at I need sort of 22. If I need 24, I might need to. I always used to try and save 25% of, just for any emergencies or, but now the only thing I had left was some out of work people who didn't get a job. So Wimbledon did a couple of them, and they did that well. One of them rang me, and I couldn't bring him in because we had to get out, and I couldn't get out, so I had no space for him. So he went there, and he's proved to them that he signed a contract there. So that was Sam Hutchinson. So I actually spoke to him myself and said, I can't have you in, I haven't got room.
You're in a bit of a difficult situation because you've got several who are injured medium term defensively, and you've got a large squad where you need sort of one in, one out, and you've got loan players who you may be able to send back, may not be able to send back. It's a tricky balance to get sorted in 3 weeks whilst coaching a team to get out of the relegation battle, isn't it?
It's football. There's nothing else like it, is there? There's nothing else like it. And if the people who run football sat in my position, when I say what I'm saying, that these windows do not work for the smaller clubs in English, the EFL, they'd understand. I know exactly what I'm talking about. But at the minute they dismiss it because the greater powers of football think that should be common all the way around the world. Why? Might be all right for the big clubs, who can have a whole youth set up going up to 23. They're not youths anymore, are they, when they're 21, 22, 20? They're not youths, are they? They've got that extra 5 years compared to ours lot. When I got to make a decision on them, 7 of my under 18s, who played quite well this year, what are we going to do with them? I've got 13 players signed on for next year. 5 of them are under 20. And I'm not saying I shouldn't have them. I'm saying, hang on a minute, what about the rest? That's 5 out of 13. And then the following year, we've got 0. So how important is recruitment and knowing what you're recruiting for? Style, identity, how to win, right? How important is that? And what I want to do is actually give Swindon a role model that might actually work long term.
What about those loans? You still got 3 in the building. Are we expecting them to remain out for the rest of the season?
What sort of loans were they?
Season long with a recall though, isn't it? So you have the opportunity to send back, or they've got the chance to pull them back.
Conversations will be ongoing with every single possibility that I might be able to have. And at the minute, I got the team in a much better situation than they were in before this window happened, which I wanted to do. And now I got to be very careful with what I do. I'd rather add rather than send back, if I'm being brutally honest. I'd rather add to this group with what I think's missing than send back and take away from it. You know, unless I feel that 1 or 2 of them wouldn't have a chance to actually shine for all sorts of reasons.
And last one, are there players in the squad that in January you'd be saying to the owner, you're not selling them at all? Because obviously at this time, there's all sorts of speculation that social media like to have a go at.
Well, if you think, anybody out there, I'll tell you right now, if anybody thinks I'm going to sell Harry Smith now, you're absolutely, completely and utterly off your trolley. You are. Go and take yourself a calm down pill and go and lie down in a dark room, you absolute chicken nugget with double barbecue sauce. There you are.
It's fairly emphatic.
Well, I'm sorry, people out there think in such a weird way these days, and then they can affect other people with what they type from their little bedroom. Honestly. And I don't mind it, it's great. But all of you people who are listening to that, hello, can you see me? Do you think I would sell Harry to anybody at the moment? Do you think the way me and Harry are getting on, that he would actually want to go anywhere? That's where you're wrong. Will I get some offers? I might do. Will I take them? No way.
Have you had any?
What, for Harry? No.
For any of your players?
I've had one phone call about one player.
That's a bit of work you'd have to do.
And the person who rang me, I said, he's too good for you. And I won't tell you who that was, but whoever rang me, he knows. And he'll tell you one day, you know. So it is what it is. But I don't do all the calling. I used to have to do every single call all those years ago. I don't do all of that. We've got our network, our whole network working and seeing and doing, and great, you know. But the conversations I've had with agents about people that I might want is exciting, because they aren't going, oh, you're rubbish, we don't want our client to go there, which I did anticipate might have been the case. You know, and the targets that we've got, I like. but I'm being unbelievably picky, because if I don't know enough about them, I'm not going to bring them. And if I can't have a look at them, I'm not going to bring them. And if they're not fit and they want to prove to me they're fit, great, come down, do my run, show me. But other than that, I'm not just giving you a contract. Who do you think you are? So I'm having all sorts of strange conversations, you know. But it is a kaleidoscope of movement, and you never know what's going to happen. But the most important thing is we're in agreement on how and when and what we should be looking to try and do, and we're getting ahead of the game for the next window, which is absolutely vital. As I pointed out the other day, come on, this is, you know, we can't do this, you know, and that comes down again to experience. You start from when you ain't got any players, and then you work back to what you've got now from that, and the ones that you've got, you look at, can we better them out here somewhere, or do we re-sign them? It's quite simple, and that's the process. But how many people have I got to tie together to be able to do that? And how do we do that? Right, the main man who was doing that is not here anymore, and I haven't replaced him, Jamie. So all of it's falling on me, isn't it? So I've got a very, very, very enjoyable, exciting, busy schedule, and as you can see, I am feeling normal. I feel alive, I feel good, I feel excited about the group, I feel the group's excited about this, and I feel they're all doing exactly the same as me, fighting for their Swindon survival and fighting for a chance to prove to the Swindon Massive that we are worthy of wearing the badge. Is that fair enough? That's exactly how I feel right now. Exhilarated and excited about our next run of games and how the group are, you know?